right, welcome to the Lorne Park podcast. All right, we're here to interview two football players right now. Who do we have here today? We have Robbie Sowerby and Henrique Letty. Say hi, guys.
Hello.
Hi, hello.
All right, so what are your guys' positions?
I play center as well as anything on the D line.
I play Sam and Will linebacker.
From a player's perspective, how do you see your football team as a whole?
We're few, but we're very dedicated, and you have a lot of talent, and you have a lot of discipline.
I definitely think rather than being a deep roster like most teams are, 50, 40 people's deep, we're more of a specialized one. So we have a lot of people going both ways, including myself. And this is definitely kind of what our team is built off of.
Right. So in your last game, for those who don't know, who did you play last?
We played against David Suzuki at their field.
David Suzuki at their field. So what was your opinion on the game? How do you think the game went?
I think the game, you can definitely see from the scoreboard if you did come to watch. We were rolling them in the first half. We had a lot of aggression and a lot of steam rolling, and we kept the attack on, scoring 2 touchdowns, I believe, before they can get anything. And after the second half, we definitely started to fall off. We got a little cocky, even though we hadn't done too well in any games before.
So then would something work on for the team to be holding your composure so you make sure not to maybe get too cocky and then lose some points?
Absolutely. I mean, one of our coaches was getting mad at us and yelling at us about talking about lunch and whatnot at halftime. Or not lunch, sorry, about where they were going to go for dinner and whatnot, what they're going to do to celebrate at halftime. Now, we were up a good amount, but they did start coming back at us. They stopped taking our beat down.
What would you say was your favorite play of the game? Like, what do you think was the best moment in the game?
Okay, so my favorite defensive play has got to be blitzes. Sam, which is called Sam crash and Will crash when both linebackers rush the QB.
For me specifically, I think it was our last return after they'd scored a touchdown on us. I made a block into some scrawny kid, knocked him on his behind, and then I blocked another one as Barron ran all the way to the outside, got to the 5, and then chose to slide so we can stall more time.
So obviously you're coming off a pretty nice win. You said you were rolling them pretty hard in the first half at least. But apparently you're playing Rock next week, which is known as a powerhouse team. So how are you preparing for that?
Obviously we're going to try to get every single player. Like a lot of players are injured. Hopefully next week a lot of players are back to the game. You're going to try to be practicing, practice hard. You go for plays, practice, and same discipline, same as usual.
I'm definitely thinking we're going to be working on our plays.
So, what do you think was where you guys were weakest? What was your least favorite play? What was the play where you guys think you struggled the most?
I'm definitely thinking it was our dive plays. I think it was the 3-hole when we tried to do it. Now, the 3-hole, for those who don't know, is if you look at the setup, there are 5 guys on offense. Between them are different numbers. 1, 3, 5 on the left, 2, 4, 6 on the right. 3-hole, every time we ran it, Josiah ended up tripping over someone's leg. So that happened about 3 times, and we ran the play about 5 times. So I think that was probably one of our weaker plays.
So moving on towards the end of the season, once you get to the playoff area, do you think you guys are making the improvements needed to kind of have a chance?
Oh yeah, 100%. From first game to the most recent game, we made humongous improvements in sort of discipline and just understanding how the game works as football. As much as a physical game, it's also a huge mental game, right? You gotta be smart, you gotta be dedicated, you gotta understand the plays well to play well.
And for the new players, for the grade 9s coming to our school, or the new players joining the team, do you think people are helping them and teaching them well enough to kind of get into the plays more?
Yeah, definitely, because obviously you have a history of football, right? It's always been big. You have phenomenal coaches, obviously. You have this football culture, which of having discipline now, of course, and this as senior players, you also help the juniors quite a lot. You understand the game, and yeah.
I would also have to agree. Our coaches are great people. They do really good jobs at convincing people to join, keeping them motivated, keeping their spirits uplifted for games. Even though we did lose our first 2 exhibition games, our spirits never wavered, and we continued to play on, which definitely led us to the victory against Suzuki, and that wouldn't have been possible without our coaches being as great a coaches as they are.
Yes, so you've already kind of half answered this question on team improvements, but just personally, you guys, what do you think you guys want to improve, change, or maybe even keep the same to, continue your way through the season and keep powering through?
Me personally, not getting injured and making better tackles. That's just me personally.
And for me, I think I definitely need to work on hitting the gym. I am, quite frankly, an extremely lazy person, so I've not been hitting the gym. If you look at my buddy Mo, he is stacked and really, really good at what he does because
That's a big dude.
He hits the gym consistently. I do not. And you can see it too if you watch the Suzuki game. There's one play where I absolutely get bodied by this one guy because I was being lazy and didn't have the strength to stop him from pushing me over.
Okay, so we've been over how the coaching is phenomenal and how you guys are definitely making improvements. But from a community standpoint, do you guys think the players are building good chemistry together?
Oh yeah, 100%. Because since we're few players, we also practice each other quite a lot, and having that team chemistry is so important, so crucial to developing like a good culture and understanding how the players work right. Both on offense, like the QB to wide receiver connection is really important in chemistry, as well as the linebackers and the defensive, understanding how they cover the areas and all this stuff. But yeah.
For me personally, actually, I've heard some not so great things. Now, there's definitely a lot of positive team building going on, especially between who needs to be building bonds, like the lineman and the quarterback, as we pretty much operate as one. But I've also heard some bad things between our defense and some of our receivers. Some of them don't like the others, and there's definitely a bit of ways people are getting around sort of doing what needs to be done. Like I've seen a bunch of slacking off because as great a coaches as we do have, we have about 2. So they're not always able to supervise all the kids, and therefore people do get to slacking off sometimes, and others have noticed this and others don't like this. They call them out, and the people slacking off decide, hey, I'm going to ignore you because you're not my coach. And that's definitely something we want to work away from, but it is something I have noticed.
Right, so you're looking at increased discipline kind of between teammates and, people able to take some constructive criticism.
Absolutely. When I played in grade 9, there was amazing discipline as we had a lot of coaches, a lot of community coaches as well coming back, returning players, coming to coach. And they were there on us 24/7, making sure we really pushed ourselves 100%. Because we do not have that many coaches though now, we can't always be pushing ourselves 100% because people get lazy, especially the linemen.
For my last question, I was scrolling through my TikTok feed the other day, and it popped up on my For You page, another team saying smoking that Lorne Park pack. How are you guys reacting to this, and just what do you think of it?
We're staying off social media. Our coaches told us this. Social media is not going to be a great place, especially since we did have to forfeit one of our games due to us not having enough personnel ready. So TikToks like that are inevitable. Now, most of the team has ignored it. It's not been brought up to me once. I've not heard anyone talking about it in the change rooms. In fact, this is actually the first time I've heard about it. So we've been taking it pretty well as we are ignoring the smack talk, because when it comes down to actually playing the game, we're probably going to beat them.
Okay, so that's all we have for our podcast today with the players, Robbie and Henrique. Thanks for coming on, guys.
Yes, thank you so much.
Thank you for having us.